Good morning students, myself Vikas Tiwari, PGT Biology from PG Senior Secondary School. I am here with my next topic for class 10th, that is respiration. So here we discuss about respiration, means what is respiration, after that types of respiration and where are respiration occur. So at first we discuss about what is respiration. Respiration is a catabolic process. Respiration is a catabolic process, while the formation of glucose, especially in case of photosynthesis, is an anabolic process, and both processes, that is anabolic process, catabolic process, occur in all living organisms, that is the plants or animals including human being. So anabolic process and catabolic process both are collectively called metabolic process. In case of anabolic, there are the formation of glucose, while in case of catabolic, there are the breakdown of glucose. So here respiration is a type of catabolic process, means it is related to breakdown of glucose. So what is respiration? So respiration is a process in which glucose is broken down with the help of oxygen and energy is released along with the production of carbon dioxide and water. Means the breakdown of glucose in the presence of oxygen. There are two types of respiration, that is aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So what is aerobic respiration? The respiration which take place in the presence of oxygen, while the respiration which take place in the absence of oxygen. So in the presence of oxygen, that is aerobic respiration, and in the absence of oxygen, that is anaerobic respiration. So respiration is a process of breakdown of glucose, and due to the breakdown of glucose, energy will released, and after that there are the formation of carbon dioxide and water. Now about aerobic respiration. So, students, respiration occur in case of plants as well as animals including human being, even in unicellular organisms like yeast. So in aerobic respiration, there are two types of respiration, aerobic and anaerobic. In aerobic respiration, so aerobic respiration takes place in the presence of oxygen, means the breakdown of glucose in the presence of oxygen. So in aerobic respiration, there are the requirement of oxygen for the breakdown of glucose, and the cell organelle which is the main site for aerobic respiration is mitochondria. This is very important question. Which cell organelle is the main site for aerobic respiration? So mitochondria is the main site for aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration means the breakdown of glucose in the presence of oxygen occur only in mitochondria, while cytoplasm is the main site for anaerobic respiration. Cytoplasm is the main site for anaerobic respiration, means in cytoplasm the glucose breaks in the absence of oxygen, while in case of mitochondria the breakdown of glucose in the presence of oxygen. So aerobic respiration main site mitochondria, and cytoplasm is the main site for anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, glucose, that is 6 carbon molecule, breaks into pyruvate. The glucose breaks into pyruvate, that is 3 carbon compound, and after that in mitochondria the breakdown of pyruvate in 3 molecule of carbon dioxide and water with the release of energy, because we know that food material contain energy and that energy will released due to the breakdown of that food. So especially after photosynthesis, the food material converted in the form of, means the raw material converted into glucose, and after that there are the breakdown of glucose to release the energy. So in aerobic respiration, at first glucose, that is 6 carbon compound, breaks into pyruvate 3C, 3 carbon compound, and after that in mitochondria pyruvate breaks into 3 molecules of carbon dioxide, water with release of energy. Now about anaerobic. In anaerobic respiration, the main site for anaerobic respiration is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm means anaerobic respiration occur in cytoplasm, and in anaerobic respiration oxygen is absent. So here the breakdown of glucose, that is 6C molecules, into pyruvate 3 carbon molecule, into ethanol and carbon dioxide, and energy will released due to the breakdown of glucose. So here ethanol is formed in anaerobic respiration. So in case of anaerobic respiration, especially one example is here, that is yeast cell. In case of fermentation, especially in case of fermentation, there are the breakdown of glucose, as well as yeast is also used in bakery industry. So glucose breaks into pyruvate, and pyruvate converted into ethanol and carbon dioxide and energy. While in case of aerobic respiration, on the place of ethanol, only carbon dioxide and water will formed and energy will released, and here the due to the breakdown of glucose, there are the formation of ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy, especially in case of anaerobic respiration. In case of due to the lack of oxygen, in the lack of oxygen, in the lack of oxygen, the glucose converted into pyruvate, and pyruvate again converted into lactic acid, in muscle, and that lactic acid caused muscle fatigue. That lactic acid caused muscle fatigue. So there are 3 pathways of the breakdown of glucose, and that pathways are in the presence of oxygen, in the absence of oxygen, and in the lack of oxygen. In the lack of oxygen, the glucose breaks into pyruvate, means glucose converted into pyruvate, and pyruvate converted into lactic acid. So in the lack of oxygen, there are the formation of lactic acid in muscles, and that lactic acid cause muscle fatigue. Now about respiration in case of plant, respiration in case of animal. So students, we know that mitochondria is known as powerhouse of the cell, because due to the breakdown of glucose or for aerobic respiration, the energy will released in the form of ADP, and that ADP is converted into ATP. So the energy in mitochondria is stored in the form of ATP. And how the ATP is formed? So ATP is a type of energy, because ADP, that is adenosine diphosphate, in the presence of inorganic phosphate, converted into ATP. So how the ATP is formed? So ATP is formed due to the adenosine diphosphate and inorganic phosphate, and the process of conversion of ADP into ATP, that is a type of lower energy lower energy, and ATP is a type of higher energy. So the process by which ADP in the presence of inorganic phosphate converted into ATP is called phosphorylation. It's called phosphorylation. So ATP is formed due to phosphorylation if occur in the presence of light. So it is photophosphorylation. So ADP in the presence of inorganic phosphate converted into ATP, and the process called photophosphorylation, and mitochondria store their energy in the form of ATP. So ATP is called energy currency. It is called energy currency, ATP, because due to the presence of ATP in the form of energy inside mitochondria called powerhouse of the cell. Because time to time mitochondria provide energy for cellular activity, and that energy is stored in the form of ATP, and ADP and inorganic phosphate form ATP due to phosphorylation. Now about respiration in plant, because respiration occur in case of plants as well as in case of animals and in case of human being. So at first about respiration in plants. In plants there are no any special type of respiratory system occur for respiration. So respiration occur in plants through the help of a teeny pore, that is stomata. Stomata is like a teeny pore present in the epidermis of leaves as well as in epidermis of stem of newborn plants. So stomata is like a teeny pores, and stomata is responsible for gaseous exchange in plants, because due to stomata plant body take carbon dioxide during daytime for respiration and released oxygen, and during night time for respiration plant body take oxygen and released carbon dioxide through stomata, and stomata present in the epidermis of leaf, means the outer surface of leaf is epidermis, and in epidermis million and billion number of stomata are present, and that stomata is responsible for gaseous exchange as well as for transpiration and guttation also. What is transpiration? The loss of water in the form of water vapor. What is transpiration? So transpiration in the presence of light in high temperature, plant body lost their water in the form of vapor, and that vapor released outside through stomata. So transpiration means loss of water in the form of water vapor through stomata is called transpiration. While in low temperature, in the absence of light in early morning and in case of winter season, the loss of water in the form of droplets, in the form of water droplets is called guttation. So in transpiration the water loss in the form of vapor, while in case of guttation the water loss in the form of droplets. In higher woody plants, especially in the bark of trees, another pores are present, and that pores are called lenticels. and lenticels also responsible for gaseous exchange. It helps in respiration, gaseous exchange. So lenticels present in higher woody plant, especially in bark. So in higher woody plant, in their bark many pores are present, and that pores are called lenticels. And the work of lenticels same as stomata. What is the function of stomata, especially in case of gaseous exchange? So that function is also performed by lenticel. So in higher woody plant, lenticel also helpful for gaseous exchange, that is in or out of gases, that is carbon dioxide and oxygen. So in case of structure of stomata, this is very important for practical and for diagram, that is draw the structure of stomata. So in case of stomata, two guard cells are present and other helping cells or subsidiary cells are present in case of stomata, and stomata open or closed due to the help of guard cells. And now this is the structure of stomata. Nucleus, some chloroplasts are also present. Cytoplasm present in stomata. So this structure is called guard cell. Guard cell. So in bean shape structure, guard cells are present, and that guard cells are helpful in the opening and closing of stomata during transpiration as well as during gaseous exchange. Inside guard cell, cytoplasm is present, and nucleus and chloroplast, and these are the subsidiary cells. These are the subsidiary cells which help or support the guard cell, especially during opening and closing of stomata. Commonly the stomata opened during daytime and closed during night time. And in xerophytic plant, especially Opuntia, that is cactus, the sunken stomata is present. So Opuntia is a type of xerophytic plant. It is occur in those areas where there are the lack of water. So in case of Opuntia or cactus, this is the structure of cactus. There are another thin layer is present on stomata or epidermis. That thin layer is called cuticle. And cuticle protect the cactus from transpiration, because some water is stored in cactus for their future use, because in that areas there are the lack of water. So cuticle helps or prevent the plants from transpiration, and this structure is a modified stem. This is not a leaf, this is modified stem, and their leaves is modified in the form of spine. Their leaves are modified in the form of spine. Their basal part is called node, while the distance between one node to another node, that is internode. Internode. So Sunken stomata occur in case of xerophytic plants, and in case of sunken stomata it is protected by another thin layer, that is cuticle, and cuticle prevent from transpiration, as in case of cactus for the protection of plant body from transpiration. Now respiration in animal. So in respiration occur in case of unicellular as well as in case of multicellular. In multicellular means in higher animals as well as in case of human being, a special type of respiratory system is present for respiration. But in case of aquatic animals like fishes, there are no any special type of respiratory system is present. So in fishes they can respire through gills. So gills are responsible for respiration in fishes. In case of terrestrial animals like earthworm, their skin is responsible for respiration. In case of cockroaches, a teeny pores are present in their body, that is spiracle, and spiracle is responsible for respiration. And in case of amphibians like frog, they inside water. Why it is called amphibians? Because they can exist in water as well as on land. So in water the frogs respire through skin, while on land they can respire through lungs. So both type of activity occur in case of amphibians like frog. Inside water they can respire through skin, as well as on land they can respire through lungs. And in case of grasshopper, cockroaches through spiracle. In case of terrestrial animals, earthworm respire through skin, and aquatic animals like fishes respire through gills, because no any special respiratory system or complex system occur in this type of animals. Now in next video about respiration in human beings. Now